Oh, guys, hope everybody's doing well. Um, this is the first time I've gone live actually on my channel, so this is kind of cool. Uh, anyway, it's good to see you all here. I see I've got some guesses. Um, that's okay. Yeah, cool. How could you guys even guess with the picture that's up there? It's just it's crazy. Yeah. But hey, you guys are somewhat on the right track, you know. Um, so anyway, yeah, I'm here to make this match announcement. I'm blessed to be able to do that. It's obviously I've been involved with the whole arm wrestling thing since the first King of the Table. I was the original founder of King of the Table. It was me, Larry, Don, and we also had another partner in there as well. And so I'm deeply involved. So now I'm working as the media manager for East versus West, or EVW Sports technically. So anyway, so I always work behind the scenes. A lot of you guys already know me. um, hey DJ, I'm doing well. Mario, yeah, I'm trying not to be a bully right now. It's just, I am going to be putting out some more of my bully videos for sure. And, but what I've been doing is just waiting just a couple minutes just for some more people to show up. My channel, of course, I'm trying to put out more content on it, but I'm so busy I can't always do that. So I'm trying to build up my number of subscribers. Anyway, um, oh, it's me. I'm so pretty. I used to actually have some big forearms, but I don't know if you guys know, but I just had like an open heart surgery. I didn't have a heart attack or anything, but I had to get open heart surgery because I had some clogged vessels. So I'm out of arm wrestling right now for a few months as I let my sternum heal up. But hopefully I'll get back to it. I'm definitely going to start competing again next year, preferably. Um, I think maybe what I'll do, uh, yeah, see, who could this possibly be? Okay, so I'll show a couple like DJ here. Yoshi versus Rustam. That's interesting. Okay. For me, of course. No, I wish. Uh, Armbox, Yoshi, Oleg Petrenko. um, okay, Brank. Um, any hope of you hooking up with Larry again or getting him to do some new KOTT matches if you make that more into promotional venue of the sport? Um, Larry and I don't work together anymore. We parted ways over a year ago. Both happy with that. As far as I know, he's just not in arm wrestling anymore, and he, I guess, was I don't want to say like shocked or anything, but he broke somebody's arm. I guess it was like a year and a half ago, and that like really bothered him a lot. So he kind of gave up on arm wrestling completely. He'll do some stuff here and there. Like I saw him do some stuff with Brandon. I'm forgetting Brandon's last name right now for his channel. So yeah, you never know. Anything could happen. And I've seen Larry go ahead and say he's not doing something and then comes back to it again. So that does happen, you know. Yeah, if you guys have any questions for me before I make the big announcement, just let me know. Uh, just put it up in the chat there. And yeah, all right. I have about 40 people here. That's pretty cool. Um, you guys excited about this East versus West coming up? I think it's going to be one of the best ones we've ever had for sure. Um, we have a couple more matches than usual, but I think there's some really good matchups in terms of the levels of the players going against each other is pretty good. So we should get some good freaking matches out of this for sure. So let me see who else I have here. Mario, will you come to Switzerland? I certainly will. Um, Probably getting my flight booked today. So I'm usually there for about a week. Um, so I'm one of the first people there, and I'm usually the last to leave. So because I'm kind of overseeing a lot of different things. Yes, it says media manager, but there's a lot of stuff that I'm engaged with. So uh, any chance to get Shaq to one event? Okay, so I would love to get Shaq, and I think that if there's any chance of getting Shaq, it would probably be with Devin's help because Devin has actually worked with Shaq before. And as a matter of fact, I remember him saying, like, as a tall guy, he's probably one of the best non-arm wrestlers he's ever like felt. So that's very interesting. Um, yeah, I think in terms of the production quality, I think definitely going in the right direction right now. So I don't know, a buddy of mine, Aaron, he does a lot of the gimbal work. He is mostly responsible for doing a lot of the animations and programming for our new score system. So, and our graphic designer is obviously responsible for actually building the original scoreboard. And so I operate that quite a bit. It's probably the most sophisticated scoring system that in all of arm wrestling now, which is pretty cool. Uh, when do you think we'll see Brian arm wrestling again? Was really nice to hear from Eddie. Okay, I would say that Brian is really truly taking arm wrestling seriously at this point. So I'm really thinking that him and Eddie said, I think like Eddie has a fight or something coming up. As soon as he's done with that, he said he's going to be switching over to arm wrestling. So I think, it's looking very bright for those guys. Brian is definitely an amazing talent. He obviously has the leverage, the hand size, the hand strength. Um, he's starting to get the technique pretty good. So, and he'll start to build that up, over time, just like Larry did. The latest in the NBA. Well, Adam, you have the wrong Adam Silver. I wish I was the NBA commissioner, but I'm not. He's definitely a lot taller and skinnier than I am. My favorite match on the card. Huh. That's I could say like Vitali Jerry, and there's so many good ones right now. Um, and actually, what I want to say, I like Daniel Ustinov. I've been following him for a couple years now. I think he's absolutely amazing. I mean, at 70 kilos, the kid is jacked as F, you know what I'm saying? And going against Mindakis, who always somehow is able to like overcome his opponents, I think that's going to be a great match. That's really going to be, amazing, amazing. So, all right. Okay. So, how hard would it be to get a table mounted camera for better angles of the pin? Um, I thought the last one we had some pretty good angles for the pin. Um, we're using these cameras that are just off of the table, They're these little small pill size cameras, but they give a pretty good image. So this Brian versus Krill, I would love to see that. Absolutely, absolutely. Um, okay. You willing to share any of your thoughts on the GVW? Feels like, you know, I have no idea, whether Engen's involved or not, or um, the thing is that um, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with them. I've always been of kind of, I'm open to having other organizations. Um, I don't think it's right that other organizations may be like utilizing our athletes and stuff like that. But that's something that's above my pay grade, and I won't really get too much into that. I don't really like to get into the politics of all that stuff, and it's just not my thing. I mean, I'm more into promoting the sport and getting more people into it. That's why I started King of the Table. The King of the Table was not just about making money and bringing in elite level arm wrestlers, but it was also about bringing in new people. So that's why having a Larry Wheels or Leonidas Arcona, James English is now in arm wrestling, getting some influencers in there that can bring in more of the general public. So, and then the more eyeballs you have, the more people that get into arm wrestling, the more money that can be made, the more the athletes can get paid. So that's what I want to do. I would love to see arm wrestling gyms all around the United States. That would be so cool. When I went to Georgia, country of Georgia, arm wrestling everywhere. It was so crazy how many different clubs they have. Just incredible. So, um, okay, let's see. Dennis is new. Okay, yeah. So I did see Dennis's laser invention, and we actually had a discussion about having a laser for not just the center. We actually talked about this probably when I was first brought on by Robert Dexter back in January. We were thinking of innovations for the table where you could have like some lasers or sensors, touch sensors on the pads and stuff like that. You can see whether you get a parallel pin or not. Um, yeah, there's definitely different things you could do. The only thing is that I wonder if the way Dennis has his set up right now, it could get in the way of some of the athletes. Maybe it just needs to be bigger or spaced differently. You know, it can't be too close to the table, especially for some of these big guys. So your efforts for the sport are greatly appreciated. Hope others will give you more credit. I appreciate that very much. It's nice to be recognized for doing stuff. And the thing is, I love it so much. I've been involved in arm wrestling since the early '90s, and I had a chance of becoming a pretty high level arm wrestler back then. If I hadn't gotten into a car accident and injured my cervical spine, who knows what would have happened? I have no idea. Yeah. So we haven't, Romeo, we haven't announced that match yet. I'm going to do that I think I'm going to do it right now, guys. So, all right, let's bring this up and let's see here. Can you guys guess? Here it comes. All right, let's go live and yeah, here we go. Ta-da! Some of you guys got it right. A couple of you guys, you at least got one person right. So, Petro versus Yoshi Nobu. So, this is going to be a really, really good match. And I'll show you a couple examples of why I think so. Let's look at Petro first. So, Petro, he took on Nugo, and this was back at East versus West 12.
Ready on the go. gets inside, gets much better purchase on the pronator of Nugzari, gets the center, is all over his biceps. Nugzari holding on for his dear life. Can Petro take this one and make it in a little bit?
So what's cool is that Nugo, obviously super powerful. He was already up 2-0 in this match. And Petro is probably one of the top hook pullers in East versus West. Yeah, he's an absolutely amazing beast. Yeah, I mean this match, this was my favorite match actually of East versus West 12. Definitely by far. Nugo is one of my favorite arm wrestlers. Super exciting to watch. Okay, so here we go. Look at that. Just crazy power. And just to emphasize, I'm gonna bring this on here. Look how quickly and easily he just beat Zurab. Each round was just like that. And you know how strong Zurab is, right? Then he had this match against Lachlan Adair. And this was interesting because he was probably at the top of his game for this match. So he definitely gave Petro some work. That's for sure. It was not as easy as Zurab, but here I'm going to fast forward towards the end of this because they get into the straps, and there we go. Here we go. This is going to be the last one I show you of Petro, and then I'm going to jump over to Yoshi. And I think Lachlan was just getting tired. Yeah, so this is the beginning of that match again. So Yoshi, if you guys don't know, he was a WAF world champion back in like 1999, I think, 98. He was a right-handed, left-handed champion in the 80 kg division. And his brother, oddly enough, is even bigger than him, younger brother, and also became a world champion that same year in the probably 115 kg plus division, the super heavyweights. Then the next year, Yoshi also took right-handed WAF worlds. So he got into some great matches with John Brzenk back then, and John, for the most part, beat him. He ended up at Arm Wars and was going against Don Underwood, and he ended up tearing his biceps, his right biceps. It was a distal tear, it looked like, and it took him some time to get back into things. He wasn't arm wrestling like on the main circuit for a while, so there was a big gap where he wasn't really doing much. He would arm wrestle here and there once he healed up. But we brought him out for East versus West 15, where Yoshi takes on
it doesn't always have to happen.
Todzilla. Now,
there it is. Todd started.
This is what's going to make this really, really interesting. Is that you can see that Todd, he has one of the best side pressures in all of arm wrestling. It doesn't even matter which weight division. And what's cool about this is that after, I think it's mostly after Yoshi got his biceps tendon fixed, that he became very good at this open top roll. So it's very King's move like, but your humerus is not in a decline position, so it's totally legal. And he's just got this really crazy sticky point. And Todd he can't pin him. So I think Petro is going to have a bit of a tough time. Now I'm going to jump into this with John. So this was John's last match. I'm still hoping, even though he's kind of retired, I'm still hoping that he comes back. Just because, he's the GOAT, and easily one of my favorite arm wrestlers. I met him early on just such a nice guy. And here in this match, you could see Yoshi is making his way back. John is still strong. John beat Leonidas Arcona and Dennis, and so it's. I think this is going to be a good matchup. Um, yeah, I'd like to see what you guys think. Um, hopefully you guys will like it as much as me. Yeah. Um, okay, let's see. All Sims. Very interesting match. Another good addition to the card. If Petro wins and goes 4-0 title shot. Yeah, potentially. Yeah, he could get that title shot. Yeah. Yoshi versus Irakli. Oh, that could be an interesting one too. Um, yeah, for sure. What do you think about a fight between Alexei Vovoda and Brian Shaw? Hmm. I do understand that Alexei is, at least he started to make a comeback. I'm not sure whether he's sticking to that or not. But back in the day, he was easily one of my favorite arm wrestlers. Crazy power. His comeback hasn't been the best so far, but let's see. Um, let's see. Yoshi's big strength is that he constantly rises pretty good. Yeah, and his shoulder doesn't drop low. Yep, which always has the possibility of committing it. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely. That's actually a good. Oh yeah. John. That's right. John beat Alexei. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Correct. Yep. He didn't beat Dennis. John ain't done. Yeah, and here Yoshi looks good at this way. I agree with that completely. And I think this was a great match choice, and I'm happy to see Yoshi back into the swing of things, and hope that he keeps building himself back up. He definitely, in terms of the Asian arm wrestling, he is. I mean, he was pretty much at the top for a very, very long time. He's the best in Japan for sure. Um, drop a like, chat. Okay. Um, I haven't heard too much about him. I think that he's still healing up, but yeah, I honestly I haven't heard a lot about him recently. So yeah. Any other questions, guys? I can answer for you. I can definitely stay on for a little bit longer here. Golmanov. Yeah, I don't actually really know him. I'll have to look him up for sure. I probably have seen him before, but if you guys know me, you could probably know that I'm terrible with names. I know face. I'll be like, oh yeah, I know that guy. Yeah. Oh, you're late? How dare you come late to my live? This is my first live on my channel, bro. So it's Yoshi versus Petro is the match. Yeah. Let's see if I missed anything from you guys here. Oh yeah. This is interesting. Yeah. So Lachlan started to crack Petri's wrist when he went away from the hook to the King's move. Yoshi is a top level open top. Exactly. I agree with you there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Petro versus Yoshi. I think there's a little bit of talk about this, about making the limit of the supers, up there, because we actually do have a lot of supers now. Yeah, I mean, that could be very interesting because, look, you take somebody like a Brian, or like who would be another good example, like a Corey West. Those guys are freaking huge, compared to other super heavyweights. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, it's definitely could happen. When are you going to train up in Canada? Oh yeah, with the Ottawa High Hookers. I was actually supposed to be up there for the last event, the big event, the big party, and everything, but because I was getting my open heart surgery. I couldn't go, unfortunately. Really sucked. I wish I could have delayed that. Yeah. My next super match will probably be early next year because since I have to let my sternum heal up, I probably won't be able to start training until around December. So I definitely don't want to screw that up because if they have to fix my sternum, I'm screwed. So yes, I think we will. Um, I can't say much beyond that, but her name has come up in meetings. So I think that will something will happen there. Yeah. Oh, is Larry so hey? You'd have to ask him, man. I honestly, uh, yeah, he could be hard to figure out. So yeah, I don't know whether he'll ever get back into arm wrestling again. I don't know. So it could happen, you know. Anything else, guys? So I actually did arm wrestle. I have it on my Instagram. I arm wrestled with Brian just for fun. It was at a dinner table, and yeah, I couldn't move him, not even a little bit. Like he's just way too big for me. His hand is so monstrous, it's insane, you know. And it's hard to say like how strong somebody is because at somebody of his size, like if I go up against him and then I go up against Levon, I can't tell the difference because they're both just way too strong for me. And then obviously Levon would probably destroy Brian. It's so crazy how that works. Yeah. So Leonidas hopefully will be coming back soon. I actually just spoke to him like 2 days ago. So I think Leonidas is going to be back real soon. Yeah. Here's the other one people are asking about. So Alajan, I'm not sure exactly. Alajan, yeah, obviously he's healthy and stuff like that. I think it was, he had those issues with money, um, and that's above my pay grade, so I'm not involved in those discussions at all. But I hope to see him back soon. I want to see him, definitely take on some of the big monsters left-handed. Maybe even him and Dadikin would be a really good match. I think that could be really good. So MC, are you still working with Larry as a manager? Anything else? No, I'm not. I'm doing this full time right now. So me and Larry parted ways a little over a year ago. When and where's the next big arm wrestling event in the US? So nothing's been announced, so I can't really say. But I think by the end of the year, we're going to have another event in the United States. It's never, I can't say where it's going to be or anything, but I think there's a very good chance, like probably a 90% chance that we'll have something in the USA in December. So yeah. So, it's hard to say. Like, I don't think right here, Adria is saying, I don't think Brian is even on the level of Elite 77 kilogram. I think that he could probably beat those guys just because he's just so big. Like, his hand is super big and stuff like that. Of course, if you go up against like an Alan Zolev, yeah, I probably ruined his last name. Alan could probably beat him because he's just a freak of nature. Henry, hey buddy, Henry, thank you so much for joining in. And hey, I'm doing okay, for sure. So, so we've talked about doing a subscription model. It's definitely a possibility. I think that a lot of people would like that, the ability to perhaps buy a whole year up front and get a discount. So yeah, I've met Roman personally. I've met him several times actually. I've had a good relationship with Roman, and I have a good relationship with most people. So you know, I think everybody knows now what happened between Roman and Dexter, and it's unfortunate. It's but we have to move on. I definitely wish him the best, and again, I really don't get too much into into all that stuff. Um, I don't know much about the UFC partnership conversation, so I'm not privy to those. Are you taking the bullying to the main stage? Perhaps I will. You never know. Who knows? So, hey Johnny, I miss you too, man, for sure. I miss all my Cali boys. So, uh, Bronco, looking forward to the next event. Hope all is well for you, Adam. Yes, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Yes. Question: have you ever pulled Alan Fisher? I pulled Alan before. Um, I feel like at my peak, I would have a good chance against him if I got him into a hook. But I don't know if you've actually arm wrestled with Alan before. But Alan's hand is absolutely massive for his body weight. It's really insane, and that's one of his biggest advantages. So yeah, I would love to pull him again for sure. I mean, he doesn't live too far away. I think he's in Idaho. So, um, have you ever arm wrestled Gabby? I did arm wrestle Gabby in Dubai. I wasn't really at the level I am now because I was just getting back into arm wrestling at the time. But she felt like a rock, you know. So if I have a great women's arm wrestling story that I've got to tell you. So I used to train with Dave Patton back in the 90s, and Travis Bagent would come over. I beat Travis a couple times in practice pulls. He's like, I don't remember whether that was at the beginning or the end of the practice. Whatever. Anyway, so I think it was my first time that I came into Dave's. He knew I was pretty strong hook puller and all that stuff. And I was only like a year into, maybe 2 years into it, and maybe 3 years even. I can't remember exactly. But my first session, he said, I'm going to put you up against somebody, and if you beat this person, you're in the club. If you don't, you're out. I was like, oh, wow, okay. I'll give it a try. All of a sudden, this monster woman comes out. It was Dot Jones. Now, Dot is massive, like 300 pounds. Her hands, they weren't super massive, but it was probably the best grip I've ever felt from a woman. It was just insane. And she beat me. It was crazy. Yeah. Predictions on Jerry Vitale. Ooh. Since I'm not the promoter of this, I can give a prediction, right? Look, Jerry, if Jerry can get any kind of purchase on his flop wrist press, he's got a chance. But Vitale is just looking so strong right now. It's really hard to say, I'm very much looking forward to this match because both of them have like such different techniques that it's going to be exciting to see. Who has a better voice, Aussie or Freddie? Well, it's funny. Aussie, they're both buddies of mine. Well, I don't know Pradeep as much. Aussie is a buddy of mine, and so I used to always tell him that every time he says "Ready Bang," he's got to give me $1. He's got to give me $1 because it drives me insane. But I still love him anyway. And Pradeep, that's just he's he's an interesting character. I like him actually. We used to have a run-in with each other because when Pradeep first started, he would take footage from Larry's channel, which obviously was my channel. So I used to have to go after him, but then he started to learn his lesson. Oh, this is interesting. Who will win in 5 years, On or Milo? Milo. So, most people would say Auden, but Milo's doing really, really well. Oddly enough, I haven't been able to beat with him because the one time when he recently came to one of our events, I was stuck in production truck, so I didn't get a chance to meet him. But he's looking really good lately. So, and he looks like he's really starting to take it seriously. Definitely thinking Yoshi's going to take this. He's a beast. I'm not as confident because it just depends on Petro's condition. Petro's so strong with his hook, crazy. But then Yoshi's so good with his open top roll. Who knows? Maybe Petro. I've seen Petro get into some good matches, like with Nugo, where the match went on for like a minute or so, and he does have pretty good endurance. So, who knows? Adam versus Neil pickup. Oh, that'd be good. I'd love to give that a try. Neil's got to let his wrist, heal up. His wrist has been bothering him for a long time. Let's see, Jerry 25% chance. LOL, Aussie for sure. Oh boy. So, all right, guys. I appreciate you coming over to check out the match announcement. I definitely appreciate you guys having a good chat with you. I had a really nice time. Maybe I'll do this more often. This is interesting. So it's perfect because Vitaly wins. Devin has nowhere to hide. Jerry losing to Vitaly sets up MMT Monster Michael Todd versus Jerry. It could be, that rematch would be, really, really good one. Let's see, going to Yoshi's gym this week. Oh, Ryan, okay, yeah. You'll have to give us an update for sure. Yeah. All right, Ryan, are you from? Do you live in Japan? So is like his gym close to you, or are you going there to visit? The Drew. Thank you so much, buddy. I appreciate that. And thank you for helping everybody out with all of the moderation and stuff like that. It's so cool. Yeah, everybody hit that thumbs up. I appreciate it. Yeah. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. I'm trying to make more fun content for you guys. Get some huge bodybuilders and try to beat them up. Every now and then they beat me, though, because I find these freaks. Crazy freaks. So, all right, guys. I appreciate all the love, and it was fun. Again, the match, of course, is Yoshi versus Petro. Gonna be a great match. Very, very much looking forward to it. And this entire event is gonna be fire for sure. Definitely. And I'm just also excited about going out to Switzerland. So it's my first time in Switzerland, and it's just a freaking beautiful country. Okay, you live in Japan but far from his gym. Okay, that's cool. Thanks, Dolan. Drew, thank you so much. Yeah, I miss Benji. All right, guys. I think that's about it. And I want you all to have a great Tuesday. And every time I want to stop, I thought I was something not seeing your shirt. All right, guys. Love you all. Who's your personal arch enemy in arm wrestling? Ooh, that's a good one. I don't know. I don't know if I don't have too many enemies. I don't know. There are a couple. Everybody always wants to arm wrestle me, so I get called out quite a bit. Like, people message me, and of course, whenever I go to an event, I have a line of people that want to arm wrestle me. So I think some people are kind of surprised how strong I am, which is cool. I like that. I'm not like I used to be in the 90s, but yeah. yeah, I hope for the same level of production as well, and that's our goal. And what was cool is that, just so you guys know, the way the production worked out is that Brian already had hired a production company to do his live stream for um, for strongman competition and the initial arm wrestling competition that he put together. And what we did is we came in and we provided all the graphics. So I sat in the production truck, sat next to the people that were doing switching and graphics and stuff like that. I was, in a sense, directing all that. But their people are second to none. Truly, truly a great professional staff. We provided a lot of the like B-roll footage and stuff like that. Expertise on set. We set up all the cameras for them in terms of where they're supposed to be stationed. So yeah, we definitely did a lot of work with them. It was a great collaboration, for sure. Yeah. Adam versus Paul Italia. So when Paul was more into arm wrestling, he actually did want to have a match with me. I wasn't quite ready at the time, but then, as I got better and better, he, took off from arm wrestling because of the situation, I think, with Engen, and there may have been some other reasons as well. I don't know. He might get back into arm wrestling now. Who knows? So, all right, guys. My hook is your enemy. Okay. So Johnny here, Johnny Dang, he gets me sometimes in a king's move. So, but he's a big boy. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining in, and I wish you all the best. And maybe I'll do some more lives coming up. Who knows? Oh, hey, I'm so sorry about the volume if you guys could not hear me very well. Anyway, I am out of here now. So, can any of the EVW refs beat you if you pulled? I haven't pulled all of them. I pulled a couple of them, and I've beaten a couple of those guys. But like Christo, nah, I don't even have a chance against him. He's like way too strong for me. Yeah. So, all right, guys, thank you so much, and I'm going to end it now.